the Sports and Recreation Center on the campus of the College of Staten Island. CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you to coverage of College of Staten Island men's basketball and this morning's coverage of the 9th annual alumni game in honor of late coach Matty White and his wife, Mrs. Dolores White. Good morning, everybody. I'm David Pizzuto here, and I'll be taking you through the morning's festivities here. The 9th annual Matty White alumni game, of course, celebrates the legacy of the late, great Matty White, former assistant coach here at the College of Staten Island for 17 years, and many of the faces that you see in the crowd have played for the late coach Matty White, who was an assistant coach here at the College of Staten Island. There are plenty of alumni on hand tonight or this morning joining us, and today's alumni game is a precursor to a CSI versus Medgar Evers doubleheader that will begin at 1 o'clock with the men and at 3 o'clock with the women. Two games that we will also bring you right here on CSI Sportsnet. But this morning is all about CSI men's basketball alumni. Among them gathered tonight, I think, wearing a gray uniform is former head coach Tony Petoza and several others who have made their way down to the court. We are going to turn it over to the public address announcer here who will get things started. The Matty White alumni game begins very shortly. Stay with us.
Today will be his first game that he can play. My oldest son transferred, so he's here. He's playing today.
All right, we are back here live from the Sports and Recreation Center, the campus of the College of Staten Island. We are just moments away from today's alumni game right here at CSI. We have just been given today's lineups. We will get ready to start this one up shortly. No. I don't even think you'll have to blow the whistle once, unless it's just for like. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not really gonna be. There's not really gonna be. They're not gonna foul you.
Not at all. Not at all.
Usually to give me a T.
And there's like no defense.
Okay, figured.
I know, brother. No, that's everything.
Good. Yeah. All right, we are back here officially at this point. So we are going with Team Black and Team Gray. The black team is on the scoreboard as the home team. We'll give you who's on whose team now in numerical order. The black team will be number 4, Ryan Hennessy, number 5, Vinny DeCunto, number 10, Blucci Valbrun, number 24, Michael Tate, number 30, Fred Marinaccio, number 32, Jordan Young, number 33, Brian Namorato, number 42, Dan O'Leary, number 45, Joe O'Leary, number 50, Brian Gasper, and not playing today, number 98, Neville Lestrade, and number 99, Jay Ziris. And on the gray team, in numerical order, number 1, Christian Montervino, number 2, Kalik Baum, number 3, Frank Schettino, number 4, Craig Sleep, number 30, Michael Pan, number 31, Tom Delahanty, number 32, Tony Petoza, number 33, Matt Franzreb, number 42, Bill Felsey, number 45, Jack Westernen, number 50, Ken Thomason, and not playing but representing the gray team, perhaps on the sideline, Jay Chazanoff. So a nice collection of folks here that have gathered. We'll get you on-the-fly substitutions and who comes into the game and whatnot as we go. Our official today is Jack Sella Jr., who you may know from our women's basketball team as volunteer head coach. So just to give you a rundown of some of the rules that will be in place for this game, unlike the official NCAA game, this game will be divided into 4 quarters. There'll be 12-minute running clock, so the clock will never stop except the final minute of the second and the fourth quarters only. Players cannot foul out, thank goodness for that. Substitutions can be made at any time. They'll roll in and out. And if there's 10-plus team fouls in a half, they'll immediately go to 2 free throws. But both teams are now on the court, and we got Westernen, Montervino, Baum, Schettino, and Delahanty on for Gray. Ryan Hennessy, Brian Namorato, Brian Gasper, Blucci Valbrun, and Michael Tate will play in the black team. So the rules have been given to each team. All of our players today have volunteered graciously to give to our basketball program. We're so great to have them back every year, and we'll talk a lot more with some of these alums as the game rolls on. See the scoreboard on your screen. We'll get our time up there momentarily. And Jack Sella will jump it up between Kalik Baum and Blucci Valbrun. Opening tip won by Team Gray. It's Montervino. As Gray goes from right to left on your screen, he gives over to Schettino, the leading assist leader in CSI history. Montervino with a quick 3. No good. Michael Tate with the board. And here comes Blucci Valbrun the other way. CSI's leading scorer, downtown 3, buries it. Michael Tate with a little bit of press on his former teammate, Frank Schettino. They work it around the horn. Montervino back to Schettino. Gives over to Delahanty. Corner 3 for Deli. No good. Out of bounds. Ball will go to Team Black. See the time on your screen. That will roll through each quarter. And there's a 3 from Hennessy. Looking long range. No good. Jack Westernen pulls in his first rebound. Schettino gives over to an open Montervino for three, and we're even at three apiece here in the early stages. Brian Namorato now controls for the Dolphins. Former Dolphin turned NCAA and high school official here on Staten Island and the other boroughs. Blucci again for a long three, talking NBA range, but Westernen gathers up his second rebound, and there's a touchdown pass to Kalik Baum from Frank Schettino. We've seen that happen many times here at the College of Staten Island. Frank Schettino, the assist leader all-time in CSI history. They won themselves a championship in both their senior years. Tate works it around to Hennessy. Hennessy drops it inside to Tate. Back across the way to open Valbrun, and he buries it for three. Blucci has all 6 points for the black team here. Blucci, the all-time points leader in CSI history. Delahanty left open. Blucci also among the leading three-point shooters in CSI history as well. Here's Westernen reaching back for a three, no good. Black retains the lead by one. They have possession. Skip pass over to Hennessy. Hennessy looking inside. Ops back out, and there's Brian Gasper's first touch. Brian Gasper spent time as a player, assistant coach, and a head coach. Another three in the corner for Blucci Valbrun. Might want to put a hand in Blucci's face here as he's started off blazing hot this morning. All 9 points for the black team, and Schettino thought there was someone nearby, no one home. Black has themselves a 4-point lead. We get another look at that ball distribution by Team Black, and Blucci with an easy three that time, and there's a steal for Valbrun the other way, breaking up a 2-on-1. Now Blucci left open again. Namorato, corner three, that's good. Team Black with all 4 baskets as three-pointers, and they've got an early lead, 12-5. Leads have been sacred in this series. Westernen misses inside. There's an offensive rebound by Kalik Baum. We've seen that in the past here many times at the College of Staten Island. Schettino to Baum, thought about a three, steps into one, long range two, no good, in and out, and Valbrun gets the rebound. Valbrun's been a highlight show so far through the first 3.5 minutes from way downtown. That one's just a little short. Tommy Delahanty gets the rebound. His little brother's on the current CSI Dolphins team. Montervino cross court to Schettino. Schettino teardrops one in the lane, that's good, and it's 12-7. Breaks up a 6-0 Black run. Hennessy drops one inside to Tate. Tate up top to Namorato. Namorato around the horn. Hennessy with a long-range three, no good. And another rebound for Jack Westernen, who's been busy. Here comes Gray, 3-on-2 the other way. Montervino open for three, and it was halfway in but out. Follow-up by Baum, and then another offensive rebound by Schettino. Turnaround jumper in the lane, no good. And Namorato gets the rebound. Pace has slowed just a little bit here, 4.5 minutes in. But Hennessy working it around. This is Tate driving the baseline. Tate finds Hennessy open. Top of the key, no good. And Delahanty gets the board. Schettino now. 3/4 speed down the floor. Drops it off to Westernen. Nice move in the lane. And he cuts the lead now down to 3, 12-9 with 7 minutes approaching here in the first quarter. Hennessy to an open Michael Tate. Tate across the court to Namorato, left open for three, that's good. Black all 5 buckets from beyond the arc, 15-9. Schettino now works it inside to Baum for the dunk. Two-handed slam, Kalik Baum cuts the lead again to 4. Black has led by as many as 7. And Valbrun thought about a long-range three, skips inside, behind the back pass, Hennessy for three, it's good. 18-11 is our score. Black matching their biggest lead. Schettino in the lane, gets a little bump from Gasper on the way in, nevertheless able to put it through. 18-13. Brian Gasper wearing number 50 for Team Black, traveling the longest distance to be here from down south in Florida. Most people making their way north to south during the winter. Brian makes it up every year for our alumni game. In the corner, Valbrun skips inside. There's Gasper for his first three attempt, and that one's good. And we're going to have our first substitutions of the game. 5.5 minutes. So we got another couple of looks at some of these replays there. Some nice looking shots. Schettino has stayed in. He's going to give to Ray Savage, who has worked himself in. Ken Thomason has also come in, along with Michael Pan. Pan puts up a three, no good. And for Team Black, it's Jordan Young with the rebound. Young among CSI's all-time leading scorers. He came in along with Marinaccio, Joe O'Leary, and Vinny DeCunto. O'Leary around the horn, Marinaccio, DeCunto now wearing number 5. He's going to step back. That's a 2-point basket, and that one's in. 23-13, Black with their biggest lead. That's their first 2-pointer of the day. Pan finds Savage in the corner. Up top, Schettino thought about a three. Skips it around the horn. That's going to be Thomason for three. No good, just missed it. Valbrun with the rebound. Valbrun still with it. Drops it off to DeCunto. He works the lane. Got a little contact from Delahanty. No whistle there. Thomason. Skip pass to Schettino. He's going to take it himself, and that's off the glass and in. 23-15 as we approach 4.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Valbrun, he can step back and hit that. He's off on that last shot, and Thomason scores himself the rebound. Thomason gives it up to Schettino, left open, drops off for Savage for three. No good, that's a little short. And DeCunto now to a streaking Valbrun, intercepted by Thomason. Thomason going back the other way, 3 against 4, finding an open Schettino. He gives it over to Pan. Pan for 3, no good, off the front iron. And DeCunto gets the rebound here. Black the other way, 3-on-2. It's Young, drops off for Valbrun in the corner. Baseline 3, it's good. Black up by their biggest lead. It's 11 points, 26-15. As we come down to the final minutes of the first quarter. Back and forth they go. Thomason. His three-pointer is no good. There's a touchdown pass now to Schettino the other way. DeCunto wanted to foul him. Nothing called. Schettino gets an easy 2. And the lead is down to 9. There's a 3-point basket try by Joe O'Leary. No good. Another touchdown pass to Schettino. 1 against 2 the other way. Off the glass and in against Vinny DeCunto. I want to say hello to all of our fans at home, including Jennifer, South River, New Jersey. Thanks for joining in, Jen. One of 3 shout-outs for Jen this morning and this afternoon. This is the first of a triple header here at CSI. After this alumni game, it will be the CSI men's basketball team against Medgar Evers College, and then it's the women's turn against Medgar Evers. Blucci steps in for 2. That's a long-range 2. It's good, and it's 28-19 as we get another look at baseline 3 for Valbrun. There's been a lot of that so far. And this is Schettino now for a 3-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound, it's Pan, another attempt for 3, that's off the back iron, no good. And here comes Team Black the other way, it's Marinaccio. Marinaccio, right-handed dribble, hands off to DeCunto, Valbrun in the corner, he's been hot, another baseline 3, no good. Delahanty, touchdown pass to Schettino. Schettino one-on-one against Joe O'Leary, decides to pop it back out. He wants a 3-point attempt, no good. Marinaccio with the rebound. Black up by 9 with a minute and a half remaining here in the first quarter. The drop-off is to DeCunto in the lane to Jordan Young, and Young double dribble, and Khalik Baum is going to make his way back in for the gray team. He will replace Tommy Delahanty. Touchdown pass in the corner to Ken Thomason. Thomason spots up for 3, no good. Offensive rebound, Ray Savage, and he's off the glass and in. 28-21, I believe, should have been our score. There it is. Comes onto your screen. Young Nice bounce pass to Marinaccio. Marinaccio, we haven't seen him shoot yet. He's got a very dangerous three-point game. DeCunto now. One move, two moves. Marinaccio, backdoor handoff to Hennessy. We are under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Schettino skips by one defender, and there is a tap off the glass and a put back home on Kalik Baum. That narrows the lead to 5. DeCunto spots up. He shoots a 3. No good. Schettino gets the rebound. And here is Savage for 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Kalik Baum was there. And now all of a sudden it's a 3-point game. Black has led by as many as 11. And at the end of one complete quarter, it's 31-25 in favor of Black. Lots of scoring here, not a lot of defense. That's what we expect here in these alumni games. We've seen Black red hot from behind the arc. At least 7 of those, or 21 of those points, 7 of those baskets came from three-point range. As we get a look at some of the hot shooting there, that was Marinaccio's turn to bury one. But it's been a very good quarter here as we get a look at some other replays here. That was Valbrun in the corner a little earlier in the game. As a look at Jack Westernen's inside give to cut that Black lead a little earlier. So lots of offense here as we'll get our teams back on the floor getting ready for our second. And as you can see, touchdown pass a little earlier. Down by half court. Look at the pretty move here by Frank Schettino. Booyah for Kalik Baum. We've seen that hook up many times here. Both of those guys playing their careers at the same time here at CSI. And so back onto the floor come our teams. Second of 4 quarters. Michael Tate will inbound for the Dolphins. Ryan Hennessy is out on the court. So is Jordan Young, Brian Gasper, and Brian Namorato. For Team Gray, Kalik Baum, Christian Montevino, Mike Pan, Ray Savage, Jack Westernen. Clock finally starts, and we got Kalik Baum with another dunk. Grays cut the lead down to 4. Tate in the corner. Namorato thought about it. They go across court instead to Hennessy for 3. No good off balance. Gets his own rebound, cuts inside, drops off to Namorato. Namorato for 3. That's good. 34-27 now is our lead for Team Black. And he gets himself in the way of that pass, breaks things up, and now Black goes the other way. Cross court to Michael Tate. Tate, a little long, and Savage now throws a touchdown pass over to Michael Pan. Pan tried to skip one in, couldn't get it as Hennessy broke up that play. Long pass over to Tate. Tate looking to drive inside, drops off to Brian Gasper. Gasper, tough inside drive. Able to increase the lead now up to 9 points. Here comes Jordan Young the other way after a turnover. Young skips one over to Hennessy. There's a miss, and Westernen with another rebound, and getting in the way of that one was Brian Gasper. Take another look at that last dunk by Kalik Baum, and just for extra measure hangs over Jordan Young. Might have gotten him a tee while he was a player here, but hardly any whistles here in this alumni game. Jack Westernen for 2. No good. No looker. Baum over to Pan, no good. Another offensive rebound and another for Baum, and he finally gets the layup in. That cuts the lead down to 7. Black has led the entire way. There's another turnover as they trade it up. Skip inside pass, another turnover here. Both teams getting a little sloppy. Westernen gets down the floor. Montervino from long distance, no good, just missed it short. And Namarato controls, giving over to Jordan Young, waiting for his teammates to develop. This is Gasper, left-handed layup inside. 38-29 is our score. Black back up by 9. They've led by as many as 11. Kalik Baum around the horn. Mike Pan, they've left him open. He drops it off to Kalik Baum. Rare three-point attempt for Baum, no good. But before it goes out of bounds, Ray Savage takes it. Pan for three, no good. Namarato with the rebound. This is Hennessy. Down the floor to Jordan Young. Pretty move that time. So Black matches their biggest lead. Going to have a special guest join us on headset in a moment. Dan O'Leary. Hold on, Dan. We got to get you unstrung here. All right, the great Dan O'Leary.
Oh, the great. Oh, my gosh.
What was my nickname for you? The game changer? The game ender, something like that?
Game changer. The game sitter outer this year is.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my first question for you, Dan. Usually you're in one of these jerseys and your shirt's saturated by now because you've played a lot of minutes.
I've gone up and down the court twice, so my shirt will be saturated. Look at this. Wait, no more dunks. New rule next year. No more dunking. If you can dunk, you can't play.
Kalik Baum. Well, it's that rule you can only dunk if you graduated within the last 2 or 3 years. The only ones that still have the vertical left in their step. Yeah. But Dan, you played here, 4-year player. What were the years you played here?
97 to 2001. We won the CUNYs in 99. It was one of the greatest years of my life. It was awesome.
Yeah, and Coach Petosa says that's probably one of the greatest years that he was able to coach, the camaraderie of that team. We got another look from Kalik Baum. But, that's the one thing that kind of shines through in a game like this, Dan, is, everybody likes the bragging rights of winning the game, but it's really the friendships and the camaraderie, and it's nice to see that some of your former teammates are here, and they're here every single year.
It's great. It's great. As long as you have it, I'm always going to be here. You come for the handshakes and the hugs and basically to trash talk your old friends. But it's a great event. I mean, it's so much fun. I wish I could be out there playing, but even though I'm hurt this year, I got a herniated disc in my back. Even though I'm hurt, how could I not come? And you can trash talk Gasper. Nice shot, Gasper.
and there's always food at the end.
Of course. Well, that's key.
I mean, let's face it. That's the big draw these days.
That's key. And to see Matty White's family. I mean, I'm actually lucky because his daughter lives on my parents' block, so I get to see them all the time. But to see Kenny and Kevin and Matty, they live in different parts of the country. It's it's always great to see them, and it's. It's just fun. It's just you come here and you relive the memories of 20 and, for some guys 30 years ago. So it's something that, Craig Sleep does a great job, and we got to keep it going because it's when else do we get to see each other? This is the one time a year we get to see each other. So it's always a good time.
Yeah, and Craig is upstairs somewhere working the crowd, but he's got a really huge hand in this. He, of course, sets up all the catering that's free of charge and all that. That's given to us, and all, of course, the proceeds that we raise go to benefit the men's basketball team. But, Dan, you mentioned the White family, and that was going to be my next question is, we do this celebrating his memory as well, and it's so important because someone like a Matty White, while he's cherished in the community, here at CSI, you're never going to find him in the record books. He doesn't have a win-loss record. He's never played. He's never taken a shot on the court. So, maybe many years from now when a lot of the folks who've played no longer recollect who he was. Really, he was an assistant coach here for almost 2 decades, but the life lessons that he taught really can never be forgotten. Guys like you, what was it like being around a coach like Matty every single day?
It's funny you said that because you're right. You're not gonna see him in the record books. You're not gonna see his name everywhere except really on this game. But you know where you're gonna see him? You're gonna see him in the memory of every guy who ever played for him. I mean, you want to talk about a one-of-a-kind type of guy. I mean, he was amazing. He was funny. He was knowledgeable. I mean, there was nothing the guy didn't know. I mean, and came from a life spent in basketball. I mean, he was a great player. Played at Georgetown. He was their first 1,000-point scorer in Staten Island history. The guy's a legend. Being around him every day. I wrote something for the Staten Island Advance back when I worked there. It was like, you never knew what was coming next, but it almost always made you laugh. I mean, he was the the epitome of having fun playing basketball. I mean, it's almost indescribable. It's hard to put into words, how he made you feel coming to practice every day. Because, there are days, you get in the middle of the season, maybe you lose a couple of games in a row, it's a slog, it's a drag, and you show up at practice, and there's Coach White, doing something funny or doing something crazy, or, he wasn't a yeller, he wasn't a screamer, he was just, playing for him and Coach Petoza, if you know how Coach Petoza is, who is super successful. I mean, the guy's all-time winnings leader, but he was stoic and calm and unemotional, and that's how he was successful. And then you see Coach White, and he's just, he would just do these things and say these things that make you laugh every day at practice,
Yeah, and the one thing I always remember about Coach White, too, is that he would pick up and notice things that you wouldn't think he would, or he was always watching something that was happening maybe 60 feet away, and he'd always be able to bring that up and, of course, get a laugh out of it down the road or pull it out when he needed to play that card.
Absolutely. And like I said, just so knowledgeable, but yet not afraid to have fun. Like you see a lot of coaches out there who are, head coaches, assistants, whoever. You see a lot of coaches out there who are win. Let's, this is what we got to do. Prepare. And Coach White was about that. Don't get me wrong. He was about winning, about preparing, and about playing the game the right way. But he was about having fun while doing it. I mean, I'll never forget him. I mean, as long as I live, I'll never forget what it was like playing for him here. It was incredible.
So it's great to obviously have this event in his honor, obviously in his family's honor, that always come back every year. And then, Dan, obviously the other name that you mentioned was head coach Tony Petoza, who also is too busy schmoozing to actually get on the court.
He needs to be out here. Yeah. I don't care how old he is. He needs to be out here playing.
And he might be the difference here in this score as Gray's trailing the whole game. They've worked it down to 3. But, obviously playing for a guy like Tony for 4 years, I know when we honored him last year, a lot of the guys came out just to be with him during that honor. His banner, of course, raised to the rafters. What was it like being a part of that culture here where he was fully entrenched as the head coach? It was his program. It was the flagship program of the college. What was it like during those days playing for him?
It's funny. It's a Division III program, but he didn't treat it that way. He treated it as a program. He wanted to build a winner. He wanted to instill in players the right way to do things, the right way to, and not just X's and O's and plays, the right way to be teammates, the right way to stick up for each other. In the huddle, every time we left the huddle, we would say CSI, and we break on together because that's what it's all about. It's about an entire team, and he instilled that in all of us. And it sounds crazy to say this, but when you go out in the world and you go out in the workforce, you're going to be part of a team. You're not, rarely you're going to be, this is my show. This is I don't need anybody else to succeed in the world. So you got to learn that, and he taught us that. He did. Him and Coach White, they taught us how to be part of a group and to work together toward a successful goal.
Absolutely, and you know what, Dan? Since you've left, obviously the program has always been successful.
The gym's certainly been upgraded. This place looks beautiful. I can't believe this.
Well, thank you for that. Obviously, you guys paved the way for what's been on tap, for what's happened and what's going to continue to happen here. But what's it like as now an alum for many years and being able to come back and see not only the growth of the program and the way this place looks, but also to be continuing to be a part of a winning, successful program and family that just continues to get better and better.
It makes you proud. I mean, I haven't played here in 17, 18 years. I graduated, and I try to get to the Tournament of Heroes every year, and I try to at least get to one other game. I take my son or my daughter or, on whatever night I'm off and I can get here. And it really does make you proud to, say, hey, this thing I was a part of is still going. This thing is still successful. Like I said, the gym looks great. The team is successful every year. And hiring Tom Tibbs after Petoza, there couldn't have been a more perfect guy to bring. He's got the demeanor. He obviously was an outstanding player. He's probably on the most successful team in history here, right? They went to the Sweet 16. Just a good kid who wants to instill in players the same thing that Tony Petoza and Matty White did, which is, win, play the right way, play together, but also work together, have that camaraderie and never lose that. And it's important.
So we're at halftime here. Black has taken an 8-point lead here into intermission. Dan, obviously you're welcome to stay on headset as long as you want, but let me tell you, I mean, you've gotten a chance now to survey some of the guys playing. Who are you still impressed with on how they can get up and down the court consistently every single year?
It might be easier to tell you who I'm not impressed with, but that's a lot longer list of who I'm not impressed with, but I can't really talk too much junk. I'm sidelined, but it's you can tell a guy like Shatino is taking it easy on these old guys, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he could probably have 50 points already if he wanted to, but it's just funny. It seems like we mixed it up a little more this year. We got the older guys, and a lot of years, the first couple years we did it would be old guys on one team, young guys on the other team. And by the middle of the third quarter, the old guys, meaning us, my team, would be gassed. So it's, and it's not about who, like you said before, it's not about who wins and loses, but it'll tighten up at the end.
Right.
Guys will start playing defense. Guys will start playing harder at the end, and it'll get close. It's good to see Brian Gasper, who I spent my freshman year being absolutely petrified of because he was a senior when I was a freshman. And I remember this, too. I was just thinking about this before. I'm in a practice early on. It's probably, 20 practices into my freshman year. I'm starting to get a little confidence. I'm starting to okay, maybe I do belong here. And I throw a no-look pass, and it slammed right against the auxiliary gym wall. I think it was to Kenny Thomason, so I'm going to blame him for part of it. And Gasper just looked at me like, and you know the Brian Gasper look. You know what he coached here, too. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you ever do that again, and he didn't have to finish it because I knew it was coming. And Coach Petoza blew the whistle. Line up, we're running. He said, if you ever do that again, I said, okay, that's it. And I was probably scared of him for the next 2 or 3 months. But now, now I'll just go over there and shove him and it'll be fine. But that's another thing. He came up through the program. I went to Port Richmond, played here, was a freshman, didn't get any run at all as a freshman.
Right.
Then as a sophomore, and then he became a leader when I became a freshman. So you see it kind of turning over like that, and it's a real unique thing. It's a unique experience. It's not, you don't get one and dones at this level. So to see the program grow like that it's tremendous to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So as we have about a minute left to go before we get to our
they need more rest than that.
I know that, but we got a doubleheader after this.
That's true.
We'll take a look at our leading scorers for the black team that leads 67-59. Blucci really was hot in the beginning here. He's canned 5 3-pointers. He's got 17 points. Also leads the team with 5 rebounds. And then in double figures is Ryan Hennessy, 4 for 10, all from downtown. Brian Gasper, who you just mentioned, 12 points and a trio of rebounds. And Brian Namorato, good shot, 4 or 5 from the floor, all from three-point range.
This is the best shooting performance of Brian Namarato's life, I think.
Yeah, as a team, 51%. Not that bad. And for Team Gray at 59 points, Khalid Bound with 20 points, many of those from the interior. He's added 5 rebounds, 16 points for Shatino, 10 for Ray Savage, who came on late, and a hefty 8 rebounds for Tommy Delahanty and 5 for Thomason.
I remember Tommy Delahanty. I've seen it. I've come here to see him play a few times. He could play. He could play.
Yeah, and from a basketball family, his little brother is now on the team. And speaking of, you have a brother, Joe, who's in the game. His statistics are minimal. He's 0 for 1. He does have a rebound, but
and a steal. Look at that! I think that's his first career steal.
but what's that like, Dan? Too, having first of all a basketball family in general, and then having an older sibling who's able to kind of nurture you into the program.
I tell you, I would probably. There's only one guy I would say that influenced my basketball career more than Matty White and Tony Petoza, and it's Joe O'Leary. I mean, we're 5 years apart, so we just missed each other. His senior year was my senior in high school, so that he was graduating and I was coming in. So I would have loved to play an entire season. He actually was still a student here when I was a senior. He needed an extra half semester to graduate, so he practiced with us a couple times when I was a freshman, and that was so much fun. My brother is just forget it. What a surprise. Brian Namarato's interrupting and yelling over to the booth looking for attention. Play some defense, Brian.
Shares a hug with Ken Thomason on the floor.
My brother taught me how to play. He taught me how to play basketball when I was I was probably my son's age, 2 or 3 years old. He was obsessed with it, and he loved it, and that's how I ended up loving it. And he was the one who's kind of showed me the path to I didn't play basketball in high school. I got cut as a freshman, as a senior, and I said, I'm going to CSI. I want to walk on, and that's not even at Division III level. There's recruiting, and so if you're going to walk on, you got to work your tail off really to do it. And he was the one who kind of gave me that blueprint. He's like, listen, this is what you got to work on. You got to get your cardio up. You got to be able to run. You got to be able to make sure if you're open that you're draining the shot. You got to shoot 200, 400, 500 shots a day until you can't shoot anymore. I'm kind of like, it's CSI. How good could they be? I'll walk in with I'll be fine.
Right.
I'm big enough. I can handle the ball. But man, I was not ready for the level of play it was when I came in here. So and like I said, Joe was the one who. He's my whole life. He's been here my whole life. Mm-hmm. In terms of getting me to love the game, it's crazy. And he needs to shoot more because he's hesitating. You believe Joe O'Leary is open for three and is not ready to shoot it? I'm gonna go yell at him after this.
Yeah,
because that's what he would do to me.
Yeah. And Dan, now you have a family of your own,
I
two
do.
little ones at home.
Uh-huh.
So, how big is sports going to be in your household as they grow older?
Well, my daughter is 4. She'll be 5 next month, and she's already played in a soccer league, and she's played t-ball. My little guy's only 2. He's still a little young, but we got the hoops in there. We have a pink hoop. That's Jenna's, and we have a blue hoop. That's Jake. This may surprise you, but my brother bought the basketball hoops for them for birthdays.
Oh, okay.
And, they're young, but they like it. You got to keep them active. You got to keep them running around. You can look over across the court. My son's watching YouTube right now, which is not what I want. But if it's going to keep him from running on the court and getting run into by a bunch of out of shape guys, that's it's fine with me.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely something I'm going to pass on to them. And you know what? If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. That's fine. But it's something that I did, and something like this. My daughter has been to every one of these until this year. She's homesick right now, but. She came and she would love it. She'd run out on the court. That's another thing. Everybody has their kids here.
Right.
Before the game starts, you could dribble around and mess around with the kids. I got a great picture of my son by the big dolphin over there. He's got holding the ball with a big smile. So it's it's something that they don't necessarily have to do it if they don't want to. But as long as they know it's what I did, and things like that. If they know that I had love for it, maybe they will love it. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. But. Jenna's already got a competitive streak at Disney princess matching cards and everything.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So you're gonna look out for that.
Yeah, well, that's the stuff you really can't teach. So if they have that, born into them, that's a pretty good sign.
That is
That's
true.
a pretty good sign.
She gets it from a mother. A mother can never be wrong, of course. Hi, Melissa. You're never gonna watch this, so I can make fun of you.
So Black continues to lead here, 72-65, high-scoring affair here. As Thomason pulls up for 3, rims in and out. Delahanty's there as he was doing the whole first half.
Poor Kenny. Kenny's a guy I played 3 years with. Poor Kenny can't buy a bucket. He can't buy a bucket today. And he's still playing. He's still out there. Kenny's in pretty good shape. Kenny's, he still plays. I know he still plays in a couple of basketball leagues here and there. But can't buy a bucket today. And it's not like there's any defense, Dave. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, no, that's true. And that's the one thing that they like, even if they do play on other leagues, men's leagues. And, some of those men's leagues, Dan, especially post, graduation after the college level, they can be pretty intense here on Staten Island.
That's true.
I've seen a couple of them. Some of them have, worked out in this gym. And, it's a pretty, rough game here. And the college game could seem pretty tame sometimes, some of these other leagues.
It's true. It is. It's always tough. And you always run into half of these guys. If you play, you're like, oh, who am I playing against? Oh, am I playing against John Cali tonight? Oh my God. Am I playing? Who do I gotta? Do I gotta worry about Matt Franzreb? I gotta push his giant, tail off the block. So you run into a lot of the guys you ended up playing with, and then you run into a guy like. All of a sudden, you got to guard Blucci one night, and I'm like, I'm 39, I can't guard Blucci, so I don't play as much as I used to. I've really slowed down, but it's tough. And Hennessy, look at Hennessy. He's getting a little older now. He graduated probably 6-7 years ago.
Maybe more.
Yeah,
maybe
more than that. But you know what? You still can't leave him open.
Right.
You leave him open, he's going to hit a 3. So it's funny. And then you see the guys that you played with. You see the guys that played after you, and it's still like you said, that camaraderie thing. But it's also like, oh, my God, I can't guard Jordan Young. What am I doing?
Speaking of, Jordan Young misses an open 3. But you see the smile on his face. Like, I know Petosa definitely would not have made him take that shot when he was he was playing here.
They all use this game to get their revenge.
Right.
Coach wouldn't let me take threes. We'll take 5 threes.
Right. Speaking of, we still haven't seen Coach on the floor. We know he was intending to play and actually take a shot this year, but he's too busy.
He was dressed. I saw him with a shirt on and the sneakers. He was dressed. I don't know where he went. He's running and hiding.
Another player who showed up recently who's not playing is the guy you just mentioned, John Cali. He's the first men's basketball player to be inducted into the CSI Hall of Fame back in 2012.
Well-deserved.
He's in the corner of the gym. The camera might pick him up at some point. But
there he is.
But yeah, he's another mainstay. Hasn't played though because he's injured as well.
Injured, and I believe he has 4 daughters, which will wear anybody out. I can't handle 1 daughter.
Right.
He's got 4.
Yeah, I've got 2 myself.
Yes, that's right.
enough.
That's plenty.
Thomason, another 3-point attempt.
Oh,
no
Kenny.
good.
Oh,
Black
it's a nightmare shooting day for Kenny.
Black has equaled their biggest lead of the game and almost made it more. Tate looks inside. Valbrun, and Ayers the biggest lead of the game. It's now 13 points, 82-69.
It's still going to tighten up. I guarantee in the fourth quarter it'll still tighten up. There's enough young guys on Gray that this game will tighten up.
So I know, Dan, you said that sometimes this is the one and only time you get to spend with a lot of these guys. Are there other occasions during the year where you might see 1 or 2 of your former teammates?
Oh yeah, of course. Kenny Thompson actually lives near me. We've gotten our kids together a couple times. I obviously see my brother all the time. I run into Brian Emerado. You guys that have made their Brian Gasper was in Florida, but guys who have made their home here. You run into them all the time here and there, and you never know when you're going to see them. But it's always kind of like a treat because you can snap right back into that. You shared that, you got that history together, and you can, you get a laugh. Whoa, Kenny, that's not in your repertoire, buddy.
He'll be talking about that one for a while. If it would have went in, we would have had to cut that replay a few times for him.
We'd have to put that out on Twitter for Kenny.
And Dan, let me ask you. I know we've been so athletics heavy, but let's talk a little bit of academics here.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, you parlayed your studies at CSI into a fine career. You mentioned you were a reporter for the Staten Island Advance, later the New York Daily News. Tell us a little bit about your progression post-graduation and your career.
I started out at the Advance. I was covering high school and college. I actually came back here to cover a couple women's games as a reporter.
Right.
So I studied journalism here, and when I got out, I'm right there.
I'm going to let you go in a second.
Okay. when I got out, it was, you don't realize you can get a quality education here at CSI. I know it's doesn't have the reputation of a academic school, but you know what? What you have to do is, college is like anything else. You get out of it what you put into it. There are amazing professors here. There are qualified people. I mean, I took all my classes with former writers, former editors. One of them, a guy named John Reel, was a reporter for the Staten Island Advance, and he taught here. So CSI really brings in people that can help prepare you for your future, and it's worked out for me. I don't know how, but it's worked out for me. So it really is. Anybody who asked me about the experience I got at CSI, sports was part of it, basketball was part of it. I loved it here. I love that. But to think that you wouldn't get a top quality education here just because it's CUNY or just because it's Staten Island, I know the reputation and everything, it's completely false. And I'm a testament to that. I mean, I wanted to write about sports, and I've been doing that now for almost 20 years since I left here. So I can't speak enough about how prepared I was to go out and get a job after getting a degree from here. It was fabulous.
Yeah, and your job now, Dan, was my dream job growing up, writing sports. Obviously, now I get to do it at the college here exclusively.
Yeah, it's great. I love that website, by the way. I'm on it all the time.
Awesome.
That's why I follow the team. I love it. It looks great.
I'm glad to hear that because that's 90% of my job.
Yeah.
But listen, Dan, it was great catching up with you. I know you got to go. You have a family member running around.
Jakey, he's all right.
He's all right?
Yeah, I think he's all right.
Okay, he.
Yeah,
He's on the bench, right?
He's right over there with Joe.
Yeah.
He's okay.
All right, so hang with us, and when you have to leave,
we'll right after the third quarter. After the third quarter. So.
All right, yeah. So
because then the action's going to pick up in the fourth. You're going to need to really get that play-by-play going.
And that's why Black is really, nursing their lead here or really building it because we know what's going to happen here.
Can't stop playing. Yep.
Gray is going to come back. If they don't, it would be a real shock. But we're approaching triple digits for Black here, 3/4 in.
Yeah, this is probably the highest scoring game I remember.
Definitely.
This is usually a final, and is usually in the 80s and 90s.
Definitely, as Delahanty cuts the lead down to 18. Yeah, normally around this time, Dan, the legs start getting real heavy.
You don't have to tell me.
The action gets labored. We got about a shot a minute.
There you go. Look.
Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
See?
it's just too much.
One of the young guys
much
hustling
on
back on defense. Good job, Lucci. Way to get back. I remember the first year coming back here, I was like, this court's bigger. This court is longer than when I played here. Look how long this court is. But they tell me it's the same size as it was when I played here. I don't know if I'll believe them, but that's what I was told.
Yeah. Maybe a little prettier cosmetically, but it's the same.
It can't be that I've gotten old and I've gotten out of shape. That can't possibly be. It's got to be that you've lengthened the court and made it harder for me to get up and down.
So under a minute here left in the third. Black looking to go over the century mark. Who will get to do it? Namorato from the elbow. Oh, halfway in and out.
See, he knew he was shooting a high percentage. He was like, I don't want to miss the shot. I don't want to miss it. And that's why he missed it.
Chatino in close.
That's what Coach White would say. You missed that shot because you didn't want to miss it.
Marinaccio left wide open. Thought
How
about
good a
taking
shape
it
is he in?
Yeah,
My God.
just talk about guys who don't age.
Yeah, he's the Paul Rudd of CSI.
Namorato, another short distance jumper, hits it home, and you're officially over the century mark is Team Black. They're up by 21, their biggest lead. Savage inside to Pan. Kick ball by Namorato.
Look at this. I love when Brian Namorato yells at the refs because he's a ref forever. And he would be reffing men's league game, and I would yell at him and say, don't you know not to yell at the ref? And then we come here and he yells at the ref.
Yeah, Namorato asked me if we had an official for this game. Otherwise, he might have pulled double duty.
Oh, I would have found out in 5 seconds and Namorato was ref of the game.
All right, so we are at the end of 3. Black is up 101-80. Dan, it was a pleasure talking to you. As
Dave,
always,
you're the man.
Pleasure to see you.
Dave, you do a great job. We all appreciate you, man. We appreciate everything you do for the school and for the athletic program. You're amazing. You're the man.
Well, I really appreciate it. You guys are the ones that make it run. You guys are the ones that make it work. And obviously, events like this is it's only good if you guys show up. So thank you guys.
We'll keep showing up. I know I'll be here. Hopefully next year I'll be back on the court again.
All right. Thanks again, Dan.
Dave, great to see you, buddy.
My pleasure. So at the end of 3 here, it's Team Black with a big lead, 21 points. Final 12 minutes. We'll get started in a little bit. We'll give a little bit more attention to our play-by-play here and the rundown. At the end of this game, we'll have final statistics for you. And then, of course, we'll get you ready for our CSI versus Medgar Evers doubleheader. You see it on your screen there. The men's schedule took off at 1 o'clock. The women's will be 3 or close to it at some point after the men's game, about a half hour afterwards. That date is wrong, though. Saturday, January 26th should be. Could fault me on that, Nick. The builder of the graphics. Want to thank Nick Durst for being here as our engineer, Joe Cusimano working our cameras. So working it inside, Team Black. Tate looks for 3. Yeah, that was a 3. All right. And Black is back up by their biggest lead. So Gray needs some points. They need a lot of them here in this quarter. Montervino for 3. Responds nicely. And now Team Gray needs some stops. And you can see Gray intensifying the pressure. Down low, Hennessy drops in. Marinaccio, pass was picked off by Montervino. Here's 2-on-1 the other way. It's Baum back over to Chatino. Montervino for 3. It's good. And now the lead is 18 points. These games turn on a dime. Hennessy wants to slow things down just a bit. A long 3, no good. Pan with the rebound. Chatino down the court, and it's Baum once again from underneath. 23-point lead down to 16 in less than a minute. Namorato, left-handed dribble, gives over to Hennessy. Hennessy drops over to Young. Young hands off to Tate. Tate for 3, no good. Side iron. Schettino gets the rebound. Schettino, 3-on-2 the other way. In to Montervino. Baseline three, it's good. Montervino, red hot. And Gray is down by just 13. Triple-double for Frank Schettino, just announced. Michael Tate gets an offensive rebound. Namarato for three, it's good. And the other way, Ken Thomason, easy bucket off the glass. And Black gets to that one, it's Namarato. Cross court to Marinaccio. Marinaccio dribbling left hand, gives it over to Hennessy. Hennessy thought about a three, skips inside. Jordan Young opts out to Marinaccio. A long two-pointer, that's good. Nothing but twine for Fred Marinaccio. Touchdown pass to Pan, too strong for Frank Schettino, from Frank Schettino. See the score on your screen. Black up by 16 with 9.5 minutes to go. That clock will continue to run with until the 1 minute mark where it will stop on every dead ball. Marinaccio, Schettino gets the rebound. Schettino to a wide open Montervino. He's been hot. That's another three from Montervino. (109-96) is our score. DeCunto gets one to go. And this is an alley-oop looking for Tate. It goes back to Hennessy. Hennessy for three, it's good. And Black continues to pour it on. They're back up by 18. Montervino for three! 5 straight threes for Christian Montervino. Cuts the lead to 15 with 8.5 to go. Take a look at the back and forth play. Back to live action. It's Jordan spinning in the lane, no good. And Tate gets the rebound. He's been all over the glass here. Hennessy for three, long distance, no good. Rebound goes to Gray. This is Montervino. Touchdown pass to Baum, and there's another one that's driven home. And now Gray is over the century mark. Highest scoring Alumni game in our history. 114-101 is our score. Black hanging on to the lead. They've led by as many as 24 in this quarter. Marinaccio short on the layup. Gray has already knocked the lead almost down in, well, over half. Montervino, baseline three, it's good. 6 in a row from Montervino, and we have a substitution timeout, as Gray will get some more bodies in, so will Team Black. It is a 10-point game. Take a look at the baseline three from Montervino, who has been red hot after a cold start. There's another one of Montervino's long distance threes, making it look really easy. As we go under 7 minutes to play here. Remember, this clock is continuing to run. Hennessy, DeCunto, Valbrun, Jordan Young, and Brian Gasper are all in the game. Young's able to shrug off Schettino. We'll get you Gray's lineup momentarily. Hennessy for three, buries it. And Black is up by 13. This is Montervino, another long distance three. That's an air ball this time, though. Hennessy misses long distance. And now Gray the other way, 4 on 3. DeCunto catching up. This is Baum for three. It's good. Khalik Baum once again cuts Black's lead to 10. You see the clock on your screen approaching just 6 minutes left. We've got a game. This one will come down to the wire. Gray's lineup is Montervino, Pan, Khalik Baum, Schettino, and Ken Thomason, as Gasper misses the layup that time. Here comes Gray the other way, poked away by DeCunto on Schettino. And this is Gray, 3-on-1 the other way. Valbrun for three, no good. Offensive rebound easily by DeCunto. DeCunto Gets tapped a couple times. Back over to Valbrun in the corner. No good. And Kalik Baum takes it. 2-on-2 the other way. Montervino spots up for three. No good. But Baum gets the offensive board. Back over to Montervino. And he hits the layup. Look at this now. We have an 8-point game. Single digits, probably for the first time since the late stages of the first half. It's Gasper across court to Vinny DeCunto. DeCunto skips in, opts out to Valbrun for three. It's good. Black back up by 10 plus. They're up by 11. Pan thinks about a three, puts one up. No good. Front iron. Gasper rebound. Here comes Black the other way. 2-on-2. It's Jordan Young. Backward pass. Oh, it's intercepted by Pan. He gives it over to Baum, who opts over to Chatino. Chatino to Montervino. Montervino, long range three. No good. Baum, offensive board. Kalik Baum. He spots up for three. No good. Offensive rebound, no. Into the hands of Valbrun. 4.5 minutes to go. No looker to Hennessy. Hennessy for three. No good. Rattles around. Gasper gets the offensive board and the putback. Black back up by 13 after Gray had cut it to 8. And this is Pan for three, and he nets it. Big three-pointer from Michael Pan. Cuts it now down to 10 with 4 minutes to go. So now every possession becomes important for Team Gray. They need some stops as well. It's Jordan Young underneath. Nice give from Brian Gasper. Thomason gives it over to Chatino. See the time on your screen. Gray running out of it. They need points. They need stops. Thomason for three. Nice bucket for Thomason, who flexes the muscles after. So we're back to single digits. 9-point game. And there's an interception. Montervino got in the middle of it. It skipped over to Thompson. I think that was supposed to be a behind-the-back pass. In any event, Chatino makes it. We have a 7-point game, folks, with 3:15 to go. Vinny DeCunto gives over to Hennessy. Hennessy left open. Skips towards his left. DeCunto for three. Yes. Back up by 10. 3 minutes left. Chatino gives it over to Montervino. Montervino steps inside from the elbow. No good. Gasper with the rebound. Here comes Black the other way. It's 4 against 2. Gasper taking it all the way in, and he gets it to go. Perhaps N1 on the play. 12-point game. Montervino needs this one to go for three. It's good. Big bucket from Montervino. 129-120 with 2.5 to go. Gray needs some stops. DeCunto, one-on-one against Chatino. Chatino now bounces off him. DeCunto for three. No good. Long rebound. It's won by Tate. Valbrun from way downtown. No good. Another long rebound. Won by Chatino. Whistle blows. This will be Gray's basketball. So we are now 2 minutes to play. Michael Tate giving Chatino the business. Opts over. Montervino for three. Timeout is called with 1:54 remaining. And a substitution timeout is called. So Gray will have possession, but the lead is 6 as you take a look at another Montervino three-point basket. That was a big one. So we'll set the floor up for the black team. Michael Tate, Blucci Valbrun, Brian Gasper, Vinny DeCunto, and Brian Namorato. For Team Gray, Montervino, Baum, Pan, Chatino, and Thomason. Chance of defense now come up from the crowd. Namorato for three. That's a big three-pointer. Gray has the ball back. They need to make up those points. Thomason, he was going to give it a go. Instead, gives it up to Baum. Wide open for three. No good. Long rebound. It skips into the hands of the black team in Valbrun. We are approaching 1 minute to go. Black has control. It's Namarato. Thought about a three, gives it over to Valbrun. He steps to the line. Three-pointer is good. And now it's a 12-point game with 1 minute to play. As you take a look at more replays now, back to live action. Black has the ball. And Valbrun another three, and that just about seals it. 138-123. 9-0 run for the black team. Montervino for three, that's good. 12-point game. Black, 39 points for Montervino. There's a three for Blue Chi Magloire. Montervino a long distance three, no good. Magloire takes it back. Another three for Magloire, no good off the mark. 16 seconds. They battle for the rebound. It's Thomason. Thomason looking to put one. Oh, just short on the dunk. Final few seconds. Black's going to whittle this one down. 141-126 is our final score. We'll try and wait for our final stats. And here is our play of the game, without a doubt. Ken Thomason. A great dunk attempt. Tremendous job. And you get a good look there at the friendship and the hugs and, of course, the handshakes for these two sides. What a great job. So the teams are going to collect at half court for a group photo. So once again, our final score here, 141-126. We will end our broadcast momentarily. We'll get you a good look via the camera at our final crew as we will go off the air very soon after that, and we'll come back on the air for CSI men's basketball versus Medgar Evers College coming up next. Thank you for joining us for our alumni game. Be sure to catch the continued broadcast on CSIDolphins.com. A final look at statistics. 45 points for Blue Chi Valbrun. He's your player of the game. 39 for Christian Montervino. So we'll sign off the air from here. Once again, it's men's basketball coming up next. Be sure to sign out of this YouTube video and open up our second YouTube video on CSI Sportsnet and CSIDolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.